Not doing Bitcoin Clown because I already did that Friday. Oof. All right. Okay. So hopefully everyone had a good weekend. I definitely did, and it was actually good too because trademark things moving along nicely. So let's see. I mean, this particular lawyer wants to do it a certain way, but I think it looks like he wants to include some basic arguments before he goes and files it. So hopefully we'll get that done within, he said around 48 hours, and then I guess later in the week he'll ship it out afterwards. It's actually kind of weird because after I retained this particular lawyer at UU, I actually got replies back from everyone else, and I sent a bunch of emails to. A couple of them said I had no chance whatsoever, which obviously pissed me off, and I knew they were wrong. And they were actually pretty expensive sounding lawyers. And then two others told me, well, one said I definitely have a high chance of winning the opposition, right? And they quoted me a price of basically $1,100 USD, which is actually really good. Uh, I would have definitely went with them if I didn't hear back from the current lawyer that that I've retained essentially. And then another guy was actually pretty friendly, and then we had a nice little conversation. He actually said if I had like 5,000 pounds or euros or something like that, I'll definitely win if I'm willing to throw money at this. And obviously, I have that money, and I'm willing to throw it. Obviously, oh, not throw it away, but I'm willing to throw it at this bullshit trademark shit. But obviously, I would like to, prefer not to do that. So it's kind of interesting. Some lawyers think I just don't have a chance, and others say I do. It's so bizarre to me. Also, that Panera, that thing looks so freaking good. It looks like whole wheat bread with like cheese and oh man. See, I'm having these shitty sausages because not only am I trying to save money, but I just don't want to like buy food now because everyone raised their prices like 33% or whatever. I'm like, what the hell is this? So anyway, I think for the first time since I figured this, since I had to deal with this, I feel actually I feel more relieved. But again, I have to wait till I see that opposition actually get formally filed, right? And then we're off to the races. But so far it's looking pretty good. So that's that. All right. So I kind of want to do one more programming course. It was actually more of like the Steamworks because now that I'm doing, I'll read that in a second. Because now that I'm doing more, no, because obviously I'm advancing inside the multiplayer course, and we're using the Steamworks SDK, which stands for Software Development Kit. So at first, when I first created Seditionists, like they talked a lot about using the SDK, which I avoided using because like, what the hell is this? So now that I get to actually look at it and study how it works, it's actually not that bad. So it's actually pretty cool. And then there's a guy on Fire that'll teach, like if I pay him like basically $60 for 1 hour, he can teach me anything I need to know about, Unreal Engine 4 and 5 and multiplayer. So, I think this will go really well. It'll go really well. All right. So before we start, rising food prices from shortages. Yeah, that's probably what it is. I mean, it's just inflation in general, right? I guess you could ask yourself, why is there shortages in the first place? So, believe it or not, I actually don't know why. But I think again, I think it really is when they shut everything down because of the lockdown shit from last year. What happened was everyone's manufacturing capability also went down. I remember it took me forever to get my, America First merch from Nick Fuentes, right? And he always repeatedly said to everyone on the show, whenever enough people annoyed him about it, that it was because oh no, this was also in the emails too that I got from I guess Simon, right? I mean, unfortunately they banned him. But Simon said that it's because they shut everything down, so manufacturing capability was basically reduced a lot. So now that things are being turned back on, the demand for inputs, so that's your cotton, your corn, your raw inputs needed, like like in a video game, those raw inputs are suddenly, 100, 200, 1,000% more in demand all of a sudden, right? It's like a low number going up to a high number. So basically, it's going back to what it was before the lockdown shit. So I think that's really what it is. It's that plus the fact that the Fed, of course, is hyperinflating the money supply too, right? That's also kind of the reason why people are finally starting to dogpile into cryptocurrency, right? Even more so than stupid precious metals. I really wish I didn't get into stupid precious metals. I know Greg loves it, but I hate it, right? Because first of all, I already made triple my money on. Great, I have to refresh this too. I already made triple my money on chess coin, right? Where's chess? Yeah, chess USDC. This stupid coin is now worth like $1.50, right? Coin market cap, trans chess. It's trans. Oh God, I really wish they didn't call it trans chess because I keep saying trans. So it went down a little bit, 134. Yeah, I don't care because I bought it down here when it was at like 43 cents. Look at this, right? Meanwhile, let's look at the price of silver. Oh, it actually went down from when I bought it, like earlier this year. I really freaking hate precious metals. It's so stupid. Like, and I looked at it. Like the overall market cap of silver, like physical silver, it seems to be about 10 billion. It's so easy. Yeah, 10 billion is nothing compared to JP Morgan. They can easily any asshole. Yeah, Bill Gates himself could manipulate silver if he wanted to, because the market cap's just not. It's just not there. So, but whatever. I'm making bank, and even though the what do you call it? The farms went down today because of, I guess you could say, human error, right? It wasn't making money for like 6 hours and 15 minutes or something like that. So that kind of sucks. Lost 60 to 90 bucks because of that, but you know what? I'd rather take human error over an actual hack any day. So yeah. So I mean that's just like a little riff about the trademarks and I guess inflation. At least my personal version of it. Yeah, because before Burger King had the 2 for $6 Whopper mix or any other things, now that exact same thing I have to pay $8.93 instead of $6 plus sales tax. So yeah, a 30. That's actually not a 33% increase. That's more like a 75% increase or something like that. It's actually really expensive. And then my halal cart used to charge $6. Now they charge $8. So that's a 33% increase. F that. Of course, I'm probably gonna eventually cave, but I'm gonna try to hold out as long as I can because man, it does. You do get sick and tired of eating the same crap at home every single day. So. Alright, so Riot has gone up a lot, which is to be expected because Bitcoin's up, so that's good. So yeah, that's good. So that means when Bitcoin goes back to 64.5K, which it's well on its way to doing, yeah, Riot will be back in the green for me. In fact, let me actually log in and see what the value of those Riot calls are. Because it's been taking forever. Okay, what the hell? It's not worth that much? That's not right. Let me take a look. I mean, it's gone up, but not nearly as much as it's supposed to be. Well, the options are up 14.68% today. Alright, well, we'll see. We'll see. Alright. Yeah, that doesn't seem right. Wait. Hold on. The $45 strike is currently worth $1,739 according to my brokerage account. No, that doesn't seem right. Let me try trading it and make sure I hit buy to open so I don't accidentally sell it. The bid is 16. I'm looking on Chrome, so you can't see it. Oh, great. It's minimizing it incorrectly. So the bid is 1660 and the ask is 1780. Yeah, this thing's not going up enough. Okay, so for whatever reason, the markets don't seem to believe that Bitcoin's going higher. So, okay, like pieces of shit. All right, well, I guess Riot will have to just keep going up before people will take notice. All right, so I didn't pay attention at all to the stock markets because I just didn't care. But yeah, this doesn't look like anything. It's just like a flat day to the downside. Precious metals got hit. Crude oil got hit. Of course, crypto and Bitcoin's up a lot. Yeah, and then Riot's doing pretty well here. Dollar's up a little bit. Let's take a look at the bonds. Yeah, bonds sold off a little bit too, but not much. So again, probably it looks like all the money just went into cryptocurrency today, which is perfect. That's exactly what I want. I want everybody to put all their money into crypto so that Bitcoin can like hit 250K, 500K by the end of August. But there could be a very strong possibility that crypto is just going to keep going up. And then there's a lot of misinformation about that infrastructure bill that's in Congress. There's like a lot of weird crap in there. But for the most part, I think crypto is going to be pretty safe. And the House still has to approve it in mid-September anyway. Because it's only going through the Senate now. Then it has to go to the House to be passed as well. So, and there'll obviously be way more. And on top of that, a lot of liberals love crypto. So they're lobbying pretty hard. They're lobbying the Democrats pretty hard to like, not fuck it up. So I think we're pretty solid. I mean, even Republicans like it too. So I mean, there's just no reason to screw over crypto except like a few old guard assholes like Chuck Schumer and Elizabeth Warren, who are working for the banks. It's so aggravating too. Elizabeth Warren is like, oh, I'm so progressive, and like so many idiots just believe it. But she really is a wolf in sheep's clothing. She works for the banks, but pretends to fight them. I just can't stand this. Yeah. All right, let's see. So Bitcoin, Ethereum doing well. Binance, of course, doing well. Dogecoin's going up, so that's good. Funny enough, Shiba is not going up as much. Okay, so now it's coming up a little. Let me see, where are we at with Dog? Yeah, so I mean, Shiba is kind of closely tracking Dog like it's supposed to, so, but it's just falling behind Dog. But I'm sure if Dog were to shoot back up to like 75 cents, Shiba would be, I don't even know how to call this. So let's just say, yeah, this is Satoshi. So it's like, I don't know, I originally, when I first got in, I bought it like 35, 50 Satoshis of $1, right? So it's basically 4.5 times this number you see here. And then I kept dollar cost averaging down as it kept going down in value. Because again, Shiba is the coin you buy when you miss the boat in Dogecoin, which is all of us. And on top of that, Shiba has Shiba Swap and they're listed on Coinbase and everywhere else. So the fundamentals are very powerful. Okay, and then Pancake Swap's doing well. Yeah, but pretty much all the coins are doing well. VeChain's back up, like if I still held it, now it would be back in a profit because I would have bought it originally at 9.2 cents. Filecoin also doing very well. So yeah, it's looking very good. It's looking very good. I said last Friday that I was hoping that Bitcoin would be 50 grand by today. So I'm off by like basically $4,000. But with that being said, look at this pattern. It's going dip a little and then it wants to go straight up. So it's looking so freaking good. It's looking so freaking good. All right, U.S. long. Okay, I do actually want to read this, and this one says breaking, so this must be new. Oh no, Mossad is seeking to hire a crypto expert. Oh boy, maybe they're angry about the Palestinian. What is it? Palestinian Liberation Authority. What does PLA stand for? Palestine. I'm pretty sure it's Palestinian Liberation Army. Yeah, it was that. So these guys actually have a Bitcoin address that's publicly available. So you donate to that. You can donate to the PLA. So maybe Mossad's pretty upset about that. Actually, what's the artwork for this article? It's just like a standard thing. Funny that it's all tracking people. KYC tools can minimize hassle for U.S. crypto market, FTX CEO says. Yeah, I think I'll pass. Okay, a DeFi partnership with a global bank. Yeah, so if everyone's getting into crypto, bears look their paw while Bitcoin blasts through 46K. Yeah, I certainly hope that there's more short squeezing. This was written 3 hours ago as well. Crypto mining under proposed US policy change. Okay, we're just gonna read the thing there. Okay, and more than sure Greg's video has got to be out by now. The Fed warns on taper, gold, silver fall, blah, 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 blah. Okay, let's take a look.
Okay.
Yeah, this has low views, so he did just post this. The Fed warns on tapering, gold and silver falls because precious metals sucks dick. Plus more important updates. Okay. I don't know. I'm only interested in hearing what Steve Jobs would say. U.S. lawmakers behind crypto amendments. Let me put this over here for the thumbnail. Actually, let me actually take the screenshot now and paste it. All right, there we go. Okay. A new compromise amendment could still be added to the stupid thing through a unanimous consent request, provided no one objects in the Senate. Yeah, there's so much weird misinformation about this. Like they say it's going to pass, then it passed, but now they're still debating it. But how do you still debate it if it already passed? So there's a lot of contradictions. U.S. senators put forth differing amendments for provisions in the infrastructure dealing with crypto. In a press conference on Monday, Pat Toomey said there was now a bipartisan agreement on an amendment to the infrastructure bill, backed by Loomis, Portman, Warren, and Wyden. Oh, okay, so they got everybody in. Okay, that's good. Because we are pro Loomis and Wyden. Because those are the ones that are, and then I forgot the other people. But they're the ones that actually are doing it correctly. Because they only singled out actual crypto exchanges like Coinbase and Gemini, right? So, which is what this thing is supposed to be targeting. It's not supposed to be targeting people like you and me because we don't actually run. This reminds me a lot like 2009 or so, where I forgot what it was, but they wanted to pass some kind of like post-tax whatever thing, and they made it so that if you ever made $600 in any way, you had to report it all to the IRS. And it was such a stupid amendment. And I don't understand why people actually do that. And the good news is back then they completely killed that because even the IRS was like, what the F? We don't want this. We would have infinite paperwork every single day coming in. We would shut down instantly because we can't handle it. It's like, well, what are you doing, Congress? So I'm kind of so this reminds me of somewhat like that. The Pennsylvania but this one's a little different because not everyone's using crypto yet. Even though if you ask people about it, they would have heard about it and go, I'm interested, but not ready to get into it yet. Let me see. Yeah, Google doesn't have info for this week. I'm pretty sure this week the search interest is going to go up. If it goes down, I would be shocked. That would mean this bull run has so much more room left to go. The Pennsylvania lawmakers said the new amendment would exempt software developers, transaction validators, and node operators, while tax requirements should only apply to the intermediaries. Right, which is what it's supposed to do. We can't provide greater clarity on the rules who are actual brokers of crypto. Said to me, we're not proposing anything sweeping or anything radical. Our solution makes clear that a broker means only those persons who conduct transactions where customers buy, sell, and trade digital assets. Right, crypto exchanges. None of us think this is an absolutely perfect solution, but it's much better than the underlying text. Burrito. So for some reason, I'm thinking of burrito or like the name of some potato chip, like Doritos. DC-based crypto think tank CoinSat revealed some of the text modified. Okay, who rarely effectuates transfers on behalf of another person. Yeah. The middle ground solution was likely to attempt to gain more political support and have at least some alternative language before the final vote scheduled for Tuesday. So they're going to be voting on it tomorrow. The Senate voted to end the debate on infrastructure deals Sunday, effectively stopping any additional amendments that can be added. The new compromise bill, however, could still be added through a unanimous consent request under Senate rules. The bill could be added no other Senator. Okay. Wyden claimed that Senate Majority Chucky Boy Schumer would not move to block the request for the crypto amendment, meaning it could potentially be attached today. Okay, good. Because Chucky Boy was, along with Elizabeth Pocahontas, is really being assholes about it. So hopefully enough people actually yelled at him. In fact, I actually did retweet some of them too. Yeah, because Brian Armstrong, Elon Musk, who was the other guy? And Jack Dorsey, right? They're not exactly friends of conservatives. but they all said, "Yo, like this is a stupid thing. Like don't screw us. Like don't like go call your senator and tell them to get rid of that stupid amendment." So there's a lot of lobbying pressure on our behalf. This isn't perfect, better than blah blah blah. Okay, the amendment originally proposed by Wyden suggests. Okay, I don't need a history lesson. Many critics have given the amendment from Wyden their blessing on criticizing the one from Warner and Sinema. Put unworkable kind of Bitcoin, no right about their mind. We can't afford to get this wrong. Loomis said we need to make sure that people aren't trying to avoid tax, show their mind, do that, but we have to do it in a way that doesn't stifle innovation. Should maybe be it would still need to go through the House of Representatives before being signed into law by Joe Biden. Okay. So the good news is, yeah, it's looking very good. Perfect. So that's probably why shit's going up. Alright, that works for me. And then that little dip would be actually pretty good, right? Because go up a lot, go down a bit. Very bullish. Because, I'd rather have it dip now, so it's not as extreme, rather than go up like, I don't know, 200% straight up and then come down like 50% from the high, right? I really just don't. After all the crap we've been through, I'm just so sick and tired of this. Oh, buy the dip, buy the dip. Oh, things are volatile. I mean, I understand it, but I literally have been waiting 4 years for this moment. I'm just sick and tired of it, right? I'm just sick and tired of everything. And of course, that plus having to deal with trade market issues is just weighing on my patience. I really despise people who hate on crypto because it's somehow tax evasion. Yeah, I mean, but these are government politicians. I mean, they're all, like, to them, collecting taxes is how they survive, right? That's their incentive. They survive by legally stealing from everyone else. Because when I actually sit down and think about it, being a politician is a really well-paying job. Like, you literally just tax everything and everyone. All you have to do is encourage people to spend or do any kind of economic activity, and then you collect a slice of that. Oh, you sold something, sales tax. Oh, you're paying your employees, payroll tax. Oh, you're giving out stock options. Oh, stock option tax. Oh, you sold your property or you bought property, property tax. Like, it just never ends. It just never ends. Like, you have your hand in everything. Oh, your corporation paid dividends? Double taxation tax. Like, it's yes, and it's double taxation. And it's just so... It's so G-word. Unfortunately, I don't see the conservatives really doing anything, so... Also, I've just stopped really reading anything from Andre Wang and the Daily Wire at SU. I think he's, like, it's just dumb. That's one thing, but it's another thing having smartasses in real life or online to tell that BS. Yeah. But, I mean, I'm sure you've already figured it out. I mean, they all have their bots. I mean, Amazon employed, like, crazy amount of bots just to screw over the unions, right? CIA and FBI, they still send their agents occasionally to go troll me about, like, Q and shit. Like, for example, some asshole recently pretended to be based Hollander. And it was just so weird, right? So either I was a federal agent or some stupid F word from 4chan. And it's like the exact same thing. And then I just simply blocked him. I mean, I don't even want to say what he said. I gave him away. Because I don't want to give him the attention. But it's just so stupid and annoying. It's like, there's no way a normal human being will waste their time on something like that. Right? But federal agents who get paid to do this definitely would do it. Oh, I gotta turn on the fan. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. But, that's just how it goes. Fed warns a taper, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so let's see. What did the Federal Reserve do today? That's, like, got the markets a little uneasy.
Okay, everybody, it is me, Gregory Manarino. This is my post-market wrap-up on this really lovely day. Every day above ground is a good day. Remember that. So, it's August 9th, 2021. All right, people, a lot of stuff to cover here as usual, but let's start off with the basics. Let's talk about this market today. We finished mixed. The Dow lost about 0.3%, about 100 points. Wow. The S&P 500, a fractional loss. The NASDAQ finished positive. Okay, all well and good, lovely. So what's driving that? What's driving this smackdown? with gold and silver from last night through till today, Friday actually. What's driving that?
Believe it or not, I think what's happening is a lot of people in precious metals are now going into crypto. I wouldn't actually be surprised if and when Bitcoin hits 1 to 3 million, hopefully, and then the subsequent crash occurs right after. All that money is gonna go back into the stock markets and precious metals, I bet, or really just anything that's considered like a non-cryptocurrency commodity that's kind of scarce. So crude oil stuff would work, stocks would work, and precious metals would work.
Well, we'll talk about that too. But let's go back here to the market. So again, really a nothing day for the stock market, despite what we heard from not one, but two freaks, and I'm talking about freaks of the highest order, right out of the most vomitous, disgusting, hideous organization in the history of the world. And I'm talking about the Federal Reserve. I think you all know that already. And we'll talk about that too. 10-year yield, very nice. 1.32 today. Crude oil getting hit. People, it's not going to last. Something is going to happen to prop it back up. Either a false flag event or something, but mark my words, again, it's going higher. Without it, the market's dead. Dead. All right, forget about it. I don't care what anything else does. 10-year yield could remain where it is. The dollar could stay where it is, or maybe even get a little bit weaker. We had a slightly higher dollar today. Don't matter. The market is dependent on crude. All right, it's the lifeblood of the market, the lifeblood of the military-industrial complex. The entire energy sector depends on it. The entire financial sector depends on crude. So it's going up, and it's probably going much, much higher in a relatively short period of time. Pullbacks like this. Actually, I've been explaining to you that pullbacks in this market, if any asset, you got to buy it. You got to buy them because the Fed's not done, despite what we heard from not one but two of the biggest freaks of the Federal Reserve. Anyway, so that's the story with the market. A mixed close, nothing major going on. 10-year yield, 1.32, dollar slight loss. Dollar slight gain today. And that's on the back, I think, really, of what the two freaks said today. See, look, we've been seeing dollar strength lately. Why? Why have we been? Why have we been seeing dollar strength lately? Speculation that the Fed will taper sooner than later. Ironically, that's what we heard today. Let's talk about that. So we heard from two things. They're not human. From the Federal Reserve, President Bostic and Barkin. Okay, whatever. Now these two,
his name is Barkin?
Subhuman, vomitous masses,
okay,
that are just, wastes of human resources. These two things are coming out today, saying that the Fed may taper sooner than later because of skyrocketing inflation. Inflation, people, is out of control. It is not contained like the other thing from the Fed is trying to convince you. Yellowstone Powell, it is not widespread. In other words, he's trying to tell you that inflation is contained.
Yeah, that's 100% pure bullshit. Whether you live in a big city like me or like some rural area like Steve Franson, where he's also actually talked about lumber prices and other shortages, and prices are going triple or something. I forgot what he said on his Twitter. This was on Twitter, but on Nick Fuentes' timeline before he got banned. So, yeah, it's all over the place.
I'm still waiting for one member of Congress, just one, to call this thing before committee and say, okay, sir, where is inflation contained to? And explain to us how it's not widespread. Now, why is also the follow-up question should be, we're in an economic boom, right? Oh, okay. So then tell us, why is the Fed maintaining emergency monetary policy, buying, billions of dollars, tens of billions in minimum purchases per month with regard to mortgage-backed securities and debt with no cap? Basically, they have a blank check to do with anything that they want to. Why is the Fed issuing debt through one door, buying it back through another door? Really, all these questions need to be asked, but they won't because our representatives don't represent anyone. We have no representation at all here in the United
Yeah,
States.
where is the Federal
It's all
Reserve
about,
line?
that's the fake puppet government. The real government is the Federal Reserve. Central banks of the world run the world. The rest is just nonsense. So anyway, back to these two things, Bostic and Barkin saying that the
Jesus Christ. The U.S. money to supply is 20.68 trillion. That's 100 million billion. Yeah, 20.68687 trillion. That's the U.S. money supply M2. Let's see. National unfunded U.S. liabilities. Yeah, it's now greater than our total U.S. national assets. Okay. Okay, well, that's funny. Yeah, I'm not going to be putting my game on Apple Store, by the way. These fucking assholes are so... Oh yeah, I already complained about it already. Yeah, but it's not going on there, which sucks, but whatever. I'll just stick with Google Android. Well, it doesn't... Yeah. The U.S. national debt to GDP ratio, like Greg says, yeah, this is 128.41%. My God. Let me see. Federal Reserve... No, actually, does he have it on his site? Crude dollar index. Where is the Federal Reserve? Because he said he tracks it on the site now. Federal Reserve balance sheet. Recent balance sheet, July 28th. Oh, okay. Total assets in millions of dollars. So I have to add 6 zeros to this. So the Federal Reserve balance sheet is 8.235 trillion. If I add 3 zeros, that turns this into billions, and another 3 for a total of 6 zeros. Yeah, this is 8.235 trillion. You can see that this thing is going, wow. And then in 2020, it just went berserk. Jeez, look at this. This is just insane. Wow. And then it just kept going up and up and up and up. Charts are generally updated at noon Eastern the day following the publication of H41, which is typically published 4:30 Eastern time every Thursday. Oh, okay. So this thing is updated every Thursday. Yikes. I'm gonna tweet this out. Federal Reserve's balance sheet is now 8.235 trillion and skyrocketing. I dare say that it's going up like Bitcoin is. Pretty nutty. It also is extremely crypto and stock market positive due to all the Fed buying. Alright, let me actually tweet this out. My God, that's such a staggering amount of money. I mean, how would you like, any of you would like to have like 100 grand in your hand? I mean, that just goes to show just how screwed our economic system is. Like, people don't have any money, but the Federal Reserve has more money than most people can even like comprehend. Because they don't even understand. I mean, now that I'm doing computer programming, I actually have better grasp of numbers, obviously. Otherwise, you don't know. Otherwise, you can't code Well, you can still code, but it's a lot easier if you know what the numbers do. It's not as complicated as it seems. And then, yeah, it's like if you actually took all these assets and you divided by every, like, the population of America, including all the illegals, I think each person would have something like, what, 1 million or whatever the U.S. debt clock said, $526,000 worth of assets. Yeah, well, like why isn't anyone talking about that? You know?
Fed, may have to taper earlier because of skyrocketing inflation. No, you see, the Fed is deliberately creating inflation. That's why they're running their inflation creation machine. Buying debt, issuing debt through here, buying it back through here, issuing debt.
Yeah, actually, now I understand why they want to inflate. Because if they own $8.235 trillion worth of assets, if they inflate the economy, then the assets that they own will go up in value, and they'll make even more money. It actually makes sense now. I can't believe I never thought of that. I have to retweet that. It makes sense now. The Fed wants to hyperinflate so that the value of their assets and their balance, the vicious cycle. It's a vicious cycle. And if they can keep manipulating the dollar from crashing too much in value, well, trillions of profits, anyone? How much room do I have to type? Not for me or you. Because obviously you and I ain't getting shit from the Federal Reserve. Huh. Jeez, this is a really dysfunctional economic system.
Through here, buying it through here. They're deliberately creating it, all right? They're deliberately inflating their balance sheet. You know that in an attempt to keep the stock market where it is until they're ready to pull the plug. And they're not ready yet. They're not ready to do it yet, in my view. It's just, what boggles my mind is you got these two freaks coming out here, right? Well, their boss said, oh, no, we're not going to taper for some time. And then their other boss, the vice chair, Clarita, said maybe 2023. So this is the game that the Fed plays all the time. They try to keep people and the market off balance. You understand? So they send out these freaks to say this. They're going to send out a couple more freaks to say something else. You just got to cut through the dog shit. The dog shit, which is wrapped in cat shit, covered in, sprinkled with bird shit. You understand? I think you do. The fact of the matter is the Fed's going to buy it all until they are literally, and they kind of almost are there now, the lender and buyer of last resort. This has been their goal since the creation, to one day be the lenders and buyers of it all, to continue to issue debt in greater and greater amounts through one door and then buy it back through another door. You understand? This has been their goal, always, to one day govern and rule the world. And that's exactly what's going on here. Let's move on to some economic news today. And this will not surprise you, so you don't have to freak out or anything. So consumer debt is now surging at its fastest pace ever. Ever. And this goes on to what I've explained to you is also happening. Credit card borrowing is at an all-time high. People are borrowing cash. You know what they charge you to do that? They're taking cash advances against their credit cards just to make ends meet. Does this sound like a booming economy to you?
Yeah, that's literally financial slavery. That is slavery.
Or is this an economy that is designed to eliminate a certain class of people? And that's exactly what it's designed to do.
Good God.
That is the grand plan here. Force as many people as they can to the lower rung. The people that used to be in the middle class, which has been steadily fading away for quite a long time and accelerated massively with the scamdemic shutting down the economy. They want to see what they can get away with here. You understand that? Your body is not even yours anymore. You do realize that. More and more employers are forcing their employees to accept this vaccination or face firing. And
Yeah. I won't be doing that.
It's an incredible thing. You not only.
Hopefully, I won't have to do that. But I mean, who knows, right? Florida might eventually fall to shit lib control, and then it'll be over.
you they don't want you to own anything. Your own body is not yours anymore either. I want you to think about that. It's a pretty twisted system, and it's astonishing to me to see what's going on around us. It really, really is. Anyway, people, so that's the story. So gold and silver today getting slammed. This is on, in my opinion, look, I could be wrong. I'd love to hear your opinion. This is on speculation that the Fed will taper sooner than later. Do you believe that the Fed will taper sooner than later? Do you believe Bostic and Barkin, the two freaks from the Fed that are saying essentially the Fed will taper sooner than later because inflation is out of control? Oh, really? I thought, you see, that the Federal Reserve has a mandate to keep prices stable. Oh, well, they're not stable, are they? No, there's no such thing. You see, there's a lot of big dog shit talk about price stability. They don't care about this whatsoever. As a matter of fact, Yellowstein said that. He does not care about inflation. He cares more about people getting vaccinated. And again, you know me. You know me. I always get my medical advice from the Federal Reserve. I mean, really, of course, I can't imagine a better source than getting my medical advice from the Federal Reserve. How about you? You would agree with me on that, right? I think you would. All right, people, look, so that's it pretty much for today. Interesting stuff going on here. Crude is going to get bid higher. Look for it. Cryptocurrencies, people, are like really rebounding, and I can promise you yet again, you're going to see new highs, new record highs with regard to Bitcoin and the other big cryptos in a relatively short period of time.
Yep, camera's off, but I'm obviously doing a thumbs up right now.
We'll see how that plays out, but I haven't been wrong yet with regard to cryptos. So anyway, people, love you a lot. Please share the video. I will see all.
All right, perfect. So the stage is set for us to continue making lots of money, provided Pancake Swap doesn't screw up again and mess up the APRs here. I want to learn a little bit more about this balance sheet. This balance sheet stuff, since Greg says it's now part of the unholy quadrilogy of unholy economic indicators, right? We got the Dixie, the dollar index, crude oil, the 10-year yield, and now the Federal Reserve balance sheet. Okay, Fed has instituted an unlimited bond buying program. Also increases those repo market in injecting trillions. But is this QE? Okay, it's not. Well, it is QE, but I guess semantics don't matter at this point, because well, first of all, who understands this? And even if you understand it, who's going to fight the Fed on this? No one's willing to fight them. Not even the politicians, whether you're a Republican or Democrat. They're all like getting on their knees and blowing the Federal Reserve. I'll leave it at that. Yeah. But the biggest bomb of all, embrace the unconventional. Blah blah blah. Okay. All right. So that's pretty good. Federal Reserve Fed uses various programs, balance sheet, just like any other HR 41. Might have thought it was actually quite a sleepy topic issue every Thursday. Okay. Yeah, so I forgot the site because I just closed it so fast, but like they just said, when the Federal Reserve balance sheet tanked really fast, so did the markets. So it's actually kind of interesting. That's just FDD, traditionally federal loans. Okay. So the primary thing that the Fed's buying is just derivatives, mortgage-backed securities, which is real estate, essentially real estate notes, and then treasuries, which is the US dollar stuff. Huh. The Fed can discharge existing liabilities by creating additional liabilities. So it's like a Ponzi scheme. Or a pyramid scheme. For instance, if you take $100 to the bill to the Fed, it can very well pay you back in 5 $20 bills or any combination that you like. The Fed can't in any manner be compared to the discharge liabilities in terms of any other tangible goods or service. At best, you can receive government securities by paying back in dollars whenever the Fed is selling. Beyond this, the Fed's liabilities are only as good as something written on a piece of paper. In a nutshell, paper promises beget only other kinds of paper promises. Yeah, it's a Ponzi scheme. Theoretically, there's no limit up to which the Fed can expand the balance sheet. Right, because numbers by their nature are infinite. The balance sheet of the Fed automatically expands when the Fed buys stuff. Likewise, the Fed's balance sheet automatically contracts when it sells them. However, a contraction of a balance sheet differs from expansion in the sense that there is a limit beyond which the Fed can't contract its balance sheet. The limit is determined by the value of the assets. Unlike dollar bills, which can be used for buying stuff, the Fed can't create government securities out of thin air. It can't sell more government securities than it owns. Well, yeah, that makes sense. If you have 10 apples in your store, you cannot sell 11 or more because you only have 10 apples. Okay, so that makes sense. Apart from this, while expanding or contracting the balance sheet, the Fed also has to take into account its effect on the economy. Generally, the Fed buys assets as part of monetary policy, blah, blah, blah. Okay, and then that's the nice colorful picture of the Fed balance sheet. So the Fed has to take steps out of normal, okay. And then, of course, we had the lockdown shit. Okay, they did Paycheck Protection Program, lending facilities, mainstream lending program. The Fed also purchased existing investment-grade corporate bonds of American companies. Okay, and then they also bought ETFs that contained bonds. Ah. Too bad they didn't buy MRRL. I needed a freaking bailout. The Fed's purchased, I would have taken all that money and just filed a bunch of, like, trademarks. Worldwide, I should say. The Fed's purchase created enormous demand for corporate debt, like, oh yeah, she knew about it, raise capital, blah, 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 blah. Okay. I don't know if we need to read this thing. Why is it still so big? Okay, this is a transcript, so I don't care. Alright, so things are looking pretty good. Oh man, can you imagine if one day the Federal Reserve came out and said, yo, we're buying Bitcoin? just to not only keep it stable, but to also regulate it or something. That would be an interesting situation. But hopefully they do that after Bitcoin and crypto crash like crazy, like it hits like a total bottom. Alright. So I don't remember. Bitcoin, like, I have so much crap going on in my mind, and I know Bitcoin's going up like crazy that I don't even remember. Was Bitcoin at 4? So did Bitcoin just go down a bit, or did it come back up to above 45K? Yeah, I think it just went down a bit more, but whatever. It doesn't matter. Like, everything's going up anyway. So hopefully, Bitcoin crypto does its little mini dip right now, and it just stays that way, a mini dip. And then by the end of this week, we can easily go beyond 50K. So maybe 55,000. I think that's a pretty modest goal because right now it's Monday, right? So let's just see how it goes. And then they have, at least according to that Cointelegraph article, they're going to vote on the correct amendment, or compromise, I should say, tomorrow. So if the compromise goes through tomorrow, that should be a very good catalyst, because the crypto market already seems to be pricing in that there's really no threat from Congress. There's always a potential for risk, but they don't think it's going to be likely, which is also what I believe. I think that's actually the case. So once we get confirmation on that compromise, and then crypto will continue going up, and then we got a bunch of people being nagging the Democrats, especially, to stop screwing with Bitcoin. Just keep counting your stacks of money, right? In fact, I'm not actually harvesting and converting to cash every day because PancakeSwap keeps going up. Everything keeps going up. So it actually is better for me to hold off on harvesting before converting to cash, because I still need to do it, because obviously I gotta, because now I got a lawyer and stuff, but I also need to pay my bills, right? I got cash reserves, but obviously, I need to take care of the problems now. Because I like having a nice big cushion of money in my bank account, because I literally have just been raiding it, and it needs the replenishment, or I'm moving back in with mom and dad, and that can't happen. So yeah, but it's really good. It's really nice. And yeah, Chesscoin. I'm so shocked. Like, Chesscoin. Why is Chesscoin doing so well? Huh. I don't know. Because I didn't even really tweet out that I was in ChessCon. I just simply mentioned it on the live stream. So I don't know. I was like, hopefully some of you got into it. Because if you did, you know, you're basically up a little under triple your profit. I don't want to say how much I put in, but I made a really pretty penny, and I'm obviously making, you know, continue to make more money. You know, in fact, let me see, chess. The chess APR is, it's not as much as Hotbit now. Oh, great. Where are HTB? I should do it this way. HTB. Yeah, now HTB pays more interest. That's hilarious. The other reason why Chesscoin APR is dropping rapidly is because the liquidity on this literally increased like 20%, 20, 30%. So more people entering the liquidity pool, the less profit we all get. Because obviously you got to distribute the rewards to more and more people. So because everyone's jumping in. But hey, you know what? Like Greg says, people are borrowing on their credit cards. Unfortunately, I'm doing really well financially, so I'm definitely counting my blessings. Especially now that I think I can finally put this trademark bullshit to rest. Let me see. Can I? Yeah, he basically said the lawyer I have says as long as I can prove sufficient use in EU, which should be very easy because I am using it and have been and continue to do so. Yeah, and we're gonna win. We're gonna win. I just simply have to make the complaint. So yeah, it's going all right. It's going all right. All right, it's 5:30. Not only do I want to watch Forsen play the new Jump King map, I do want to actually try to finish this last video for today because I only took one day off from coding. I think I wanted to take today off, but I really need a hustle, so gotta keep coding, man. I just want to work with Unreal Blueprints. That thing is literally a godsend. No, all coding is pre-made. I just have to figure. All I have to do is think about creativity and logic building. It's like it's perfect for a man like me, or it's just perfect for men. Period. And funny enough, the course I wanted to take that does multiplayer blueprint creation is actually taught by some guy that sounds like he's from like the South here in America. So it's actually kind of interesting, actually. And he seems to really know his stuff too. So you just never know. You just never know. Like, you know, as hard as coding world is, I mean, it really is a good world out there in more ways than one. I'll see you all tomorrow. Enjoy your profits, and obviously just keep stacking crypto. Keep pulling DeFi profits whenever you need to, right? If at all. And this doesn't seem right. Isn't Pancake Swap at 1850? Oh, it's probably had a sharp drop. Let me see. Pancake Swap. Yeah, whatever. It's up so much from before that. Whatever. Who cares?